Hey guys, I'm Kenny, and this is Stoner Camera Review, and I haven't smoked, so technically not a review yet, so I'm gonna have to light one up. It's pretty early in the morning, and it's a wake and bake moment, so apologize if I'm a little groggy. Yeah, so what am I gonna talk about today? I figured I could just make a video on my wedding kit. So, um, I shoot weddings, and I'm gonna find a way to dump this weed. Sorry, I'm gonna just go with wooden pipe here. Anyway, so yeah, I just figured I'd show my kit and what I typically use for a wedding, and this also doubles as a video to make to make a get the fuck out bag. Like just you know, if you own a lot of gear and you want to pack whatever you need to run and gun, leave the door, never come back, stash like some cash money and never be seen again. Pack a camera bag. This is two bags that I carry. So let me show you the cameras I use and the lenses I use, and we'll go from there. Oh, that's much better. Oh man, I still gotta get my coffee. This is oh god, damn it. All right, here we go. We're back. So, uh, I made this video as sort of as an anonymous thing, so I don't really know. You've never seen photos or anything like that. But I do show weddings. I've done I'm well over 100 of them for quite some time. Anyways, when I started, I used Canon. I believe I used a Canon 20D, and then I went to a Nikon Canon 5D, 5D Mark II, EOS 1 Mark III. Realized that big pro full bodies were just too heavy. I switched. I traded for a 5D Mark II, and then I downgraded again to a 5D Mark I when I was shooting weddings, and then I just switched full Nikon. Partly because I was bored, partly because I just had way too much Canon gear, and I didn't want to carry too much anymore. So I wanted to really keep my kit light. And my wedding style is very documentary, which leads itself well to just natural light shooting. But enough of that. Let's get into what I carry. So, can't see these much, but I carry two bags. So, one is a backpack. The other is a shoulder bag. I like to keep. Usually, I drive to most of my shoots, so one of these, I try to do my best to make one of these available to me when I carry it. So a backpack would be really depends on what situation you're showing up at. So, if it's rainy, you got to hold an umbrella, carry a backpack. If you're going to be standing still for the next half an hour, carry a shoulder bag because you just pull your lenses out and shoot as you go. Backpack's a little harder to reach. So backpack's really great too if you just want to sling two cameras, throw a backpack on, and you got to go on a trail. You got to do a bit of hiking and running, a lot of urban street shooting. The backpack is great. Places where you want more access to gear as you work, shoulder bags are great. So I carry a little bit of both. I try to minimize it to one bag, but if I show up at a reception, I would carry both bags. And a shoulder bag and a backpack is a really good combo to carry. The only thing that's better is to use like rollies, but who the fuck wants to do that, right? Rollies are just lame. Sorry, makes me feel old. But so yeah, I carry shoulder bag. The top one there is you probably won't get to see the whole thing, but it's a Domkey. It's like a ballistic nylon black bag. Has a lot of room. Both bags aren't exactly full, so don't think it's like a lot of gear. It's just carries gear, and I always try to leave like 30% more space. You never know if you need to pack like a lunch or something. But let's get into what I carry and the gears I use. So, man, I get really high after these videos. Like, sometimes I get up in the morning, I'm like, oh, I want to make a video, but I just dread smoking so much fucking weed because I have to talk and do these things. I gotta be high, right? It's a stoner camera review. So, let's start with one bag first. Oh. Let's start with the shoulder bag. Yeah. Alright, shoulder bag, donkey. I carry, this is sort of a secondary bag. I try to leave it in a trunk when I can. And it carries stuff that I don't normally use. Like, a lot of this stuff is a backup. Tic Tacs. So I think there's 2 lenses in here. Man, I did not even set this bag up for it, so it's whatever the fuck's in here. We're gonna get more details. I carry pouches in here too. Low pro little pouches, just so if you want to grab a lens bag and throw in a messenger bag, you're good to go. But what I have is a 2035 2.8 zoom and a 80 to 200 2.8 zoom. Backups, mostly backups. Unless I'm shooting really telephoto, I will use a 200. If I need something a little wide, really only if I need something wider than like my 35, I would use a 20 to 35. But they're backups. I like to use prime lenses, so they can sit in the bag, and if need be, I can run to the bag and pick it up, or I can just carry it with me. Or if you have a second or assistant shooter with you and their lenses go down, you have something to back them up. These are fucking old. They're heavy, but they still work. Like, I fucking dropped this and still working. So they're really great. They're not expensive. They're kind of old. What else do I have? A bunch of AA batteries. That's just some paperwork. Rechargeables and alkalines. I carry the alkalines if people need alkaline batteries. Sometimes you might have guests coming up to you like, oh, I really could use an extra battery. It'd be great. They're just amazed that you give them stuff like this at a wedding. So I just carry it to keep people happy. And for assistance where you don't want to get batteries back, just give them the alkalines. A bounce card, which I use quite a fair bit actually. I really should find a time to get around to making a couple more of these bounce cards. And I carry 2 flashes in here. SB600s. I love this flash. Love it. It's they're all in individual pouches. I don't know, but every one of my stuff in here is individually wrapped, and it's quick to shift in a bag like this in the backpack. But there are a couple of SB600s. Use it mainly for bounce. I use fairly high ISO shooting, so I don't need a lot of power. The bounce card is one of those flashes that doesn't have like a white bounce card, as you can tell. But the rear bounce is actually, I usually just shoot bounced. Lots of bouncing. A lot of figuring out angles. But I think it's nice. It keeps you on your toes. Just bouncing all the time. So I've got 2 flashes. That's it. That's all that's in this bag. So it's not a heavy bag. It's just got some stuff that I could do without. I don't absolutely have to carry everything with me. And that's it. But that's the first bag. And sometimes I interchange stuff in here between both bags. That's it. That's a shoulder bag. I mean, there's nothing else, man. So there's lots of room for other things, which is nice. Sometimes I'll snap like a I'll have a point and shoot camera with me. So I would use like a Ricoh GR2. I just throw those in there, or some film cameras. So this is the big bag of cameras. Not really, but it's this is a low pro backpack. It's a really old one. It's pretty beat up and ugly, but works really well. So what do I shoot for a wedding? Well, 85 1.8. Now I just recently got this because I've kind of like fucked up my feet and really didn't want to do it, but I ended up saving my ass. So this is a 2070 zoom. Sort of a backup to my primes, actually. That's already on me, ready to go. So I mean, with the two primes that I shoot, so I've got a D700, D600, I think 3 primes, and that's it. That's all that's in this bag. The only other thing that I have is here some microfiber cloth. Oh. That's it. That's all in this bag. This is the first bag. So this is the backpack. And I do 90% of my shooting with 50 and a 35. D700, D600, 2 light prime bodies. And that's it. I get away with most of that. You know, if I pocket an 85, I can almost get anything I want. Got your white shots, low light, 1.8, and I really don't go fast. So you really pay too much for the size. The size and speed, it doubles at this point. 1.8 is sort of my sweet spot, but I've got a 35 f2. It's fast, 50 1.8 and 85 1.8, and they all work really well. I carry a 24 as well. Rarely gets used, but sometimes I like switching between 35 and 24. Do that a lot. Keep the prime on the 50. Love shooting 50 mil. Sometimes you just need something a little wider. And if I feel like I'm shooting for a long period of time, I would carry a 2870. And that's it. That's my wedding kit. Pretty basic. Again, like this does all my work. I don't want to get the camera too much. Both full frame. Got the D600 later because, and I've shot it with the crop mode. It's doesn't hurt in a pinch, but can't complain. The D600 is full frame. It's super light. The D700 is heavier and older, but still love my D700. Really don't need anything more than a D700, and D600 comes pretty close to it, so just like, yeah, we'll go for it. D700, I mean, one of the best Nikon cameras ever built, digital SLR ever built, if not the best, probably the best, because it's just a tank. You don't even see them on sale all that often used. They get used up and they take a beating, and it's probably the best combination of image quality, durability, and price and performance on a DSLR. It's really a no bullshit camera, and 12 meg files are really great for weddings when you're shooting a couple thousand of photos. They're zippy, so within that, the D600 gives me the quality I need. The D600 is tough enough. I use it for kind of more of a candid shooting, where if I know I need a little bit of quality, I'll use a D600. So a lot of my cameras have this kind of duality where they balance each other out in these like mini tiny things. Like one of the things that they balance each other out is the sensor size, the quality of the sensors. Again, I mean, I could pack two 24 megapixel bodies, but the stuff sometimes that you want to shoot, just candidates or just documenting, you don't need 24 megapixel. So the 12 really, I let loose on it, and it makes me want to shoot more, which is great. That's it. This is Stoner Camera Review. I can't remember what episode this is, so I don't know. It's not really much of a rant, but what are we at? 15 minutes? We're good. Okay, talk to you later. Bye.